It's that time of the year again where we're talking about summer knitting. I absolutely adore summer knitting. I used to not knit things for the summer. I used to knit through the summer, but I would knit the same things as I knit the rest of the year, meaning sweaters and bigger, woolier things. I would say that I discovered summer garments 4 years ago, and when I started knitting myself tank tops and even bralettes and t-shirts, I really never looked back. Today I'm going to share with you 5 projects that I want to knit this summer. I've seen some videos floating around about summer knitting, namely on TikTok, some short ones, and also on YouTube, like Taylor Earl from Wool Hands Needles and Young Folk Knit and Little Big Knits. But I've purposefully decided to not watch these videos yet so I could film my own version of it and see if some things kind of align. I'm always excited to find new patterns that are meant for summer, so hopefully there's a bit of inspiration for you in here. I'll be only talking about patterns I've never made, so I won't talk on how easy they are or how well written they are. Those are really just inspiration for me for this summer. The first one that caught my eye is the Camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. That one is an absolute must in my book because those camisoles that have this shape are exactly the ones that I buy when I need a staple camisole to go underneath everything. So I'm thinking I could find myself a really nice black. Who wants to knit with black yarn? But at the same time, this black camisole is just absolutely perfect. So maybe I'll find myself a nice black. But I could see this one being done in all the colors and throw that on with any. I haven't even knitted one yet, and I can see myself knitting multiple of these. It is knit in fingering weight yarn, which is going to be perfect to keep it thin and easily wearable. It does have negative ease, so we can get this very close to the body fit, and it is supposed to fit from a 31.5 inch bust to a 55-inch bust. One thing I'm noting in the pattern page is that they're suggesting either a cotton merino, a merino, or 100% pure silk from Knitting for Olive. And the only time I've knitted with 100% silk, my garment just kept on growing, like forever growing. So maybe I didn't have the right type of silk, or the gauge was way too loose for the silk, but I would be curious to try the one that is mentioned in the pattern and see, because it would be so soft and nice and cooling, but I also wouldn't want my camisole to keep growing, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is called Nice by Anne Wenzel. It is a t-shirt, kind of almost a 3/4 sleeve t-shirt, but with the right yarn, it can be absolutely a beautiful summer knit. It has those really nice, like marinière type stripes that I really love. It is close to the neck, but it has those really nice little details on the shoulders that I think are going to be really fun to do. For her version, Anne Wenzel is holding a linen yarn with an alpaca, which is really fun because it kind of takes the best of both worlds for these fibers and combining them. Linen is cool, it is drapey. Alpaca is also very drapey, but it is warmer, but it is softer than linen. That's not really soft unless you wash it quite a bit before it starts getting soft. So all of those things could create a really cool fabric. I have my eye on a cotton linen blend that I think I'd want to knit this t-shirt with. That one only has 4 sizes. It is supposed to fit a bust circumference of, well, it is in centimeters in that one, so 97 centimeters to 116 centimeters, but I believe it's also meant to have quite a bit of positive ease. It is something that I hadn't looked at before right now, and I'm thinking maybe the smallest size is even going to be a little bit big for me. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm still taking the inspiration if I decide to use this pattern or to put this kind of stripe on a different pattern, because it's kind of a super engaging stripe pattern, but with also a little bit of stranded knitting throughout, which I really love. Color-wise, I'm thinking I might go in some not so traditional marinière colors. I'm not really a navy and grayish kind of girl, so maybe I'll go with some greens or pinks. I don't know. We'll see. Number 3 is this absolutely adorable little Darjeeling top by Trust the Mojo. It is so freaking cute with the little lace panel at the bottom and the button on the front. I think that little shape could go so well over a dress, a high-waisted skirt, a high-waisted pant. I really think it's super cute, and it's totally not my style. Like, the lace panel and the little kind of girly frill of it might be very different than what I'm used to wearing, but at the same time, I just can't stop thinking it's the cutest thing ever. So I guess I'm gonna be going for it. It seems to have this I-cord edging that's knit while you knit the garment, and depending on the buttons you choose, you can make it a little dainty or more like a statement. It looks to be a feather and fan style lace, and to be honest, seeing as though it's a sport weight, very short top with a scoop neck, it doesn't seem to me like it would take very long to knit. And I have a lot of high neck things in my wardrobe right now for summer, so a scoop neck could be a nice little different thing to try. That one uses the Katya cotton cashmere, which I know is available at a store near me, so maybe I'm gonna have to go and check that out, because cotton cashmere does sound like something that would feel so good. I did buy the cotton yak from Katya, but it's a DK weight, whereas the cotton cashmere is a sport weight. Maybe I should swatch and see if I can change the yarn. I'll keep you posted on that one. This top goes from a 31.5 inch bust to a 59 inch bust circumference. It is supposed to have kind of a loose fit as well, but not super big. And it does have thicker straps than a regular tank top, which I think is nice when you want to wear something underneath, which is not always the case for me, but sometimes I do want to wear something underneath and I like to hide the bra straps. The next one is a very simple and effective type of tank top. It is the Soho top by Kadri. I don't know how she says her name. Kadri. I would say Kadri. And it is a garter stitch tank top that kind of has a boat neck that's just attached at the top. It is so simple, but garter stitch is kind of this thing that looks fancy because we're so used to seeing stockinette stitch, but it also is like the basic stitch we learned to do at first. The way garter stitch has a bounce and a texture is also really fun in a simple garment like that. It is made with fingering weight yarn held double, so it's a worsted weight gauge, which is gonna knit up quickly, thank God, because garter stitch does not knit up quickly. And she is also using a cotton alpaca blend. Oh no, the one before was a linen alpaca blend. Anyway, a cotton alpaca blend. So I'm really loving that all the patterns that I'm pulling out don't have only a plant-based yarn. I feel like plant-based yarn are great, but like I love seeing them mixed with a bit of animal fiber, a little bit of wool. That one has a circumference of the finished garment that is from 30 inch to 53.5 inches and is supposed to have 0 to 3 inches of positive ease. I really do love the pale color of the one that is on the pattern page, but as a mom of 2 that's pretty active, that has a dog, I don't know that a beige top is kind of my go-to thing that I should be looking at. As you can tell from the beginning, I'm not really a neutrals loving person, but I'm attracted to the neutral aesthetic online. I look at it and I find it beautiful. But when it comes to knitting with it, that's not what makes my heart sing. So I could go for like a bright something, like a bright green, or maybe a punchy... I have a wool, a superwash wool that's bright pink. That will be something that I will look into. And the last knitted top that I have on my list for now is one from Hohi Locatelli that's called the Adriata. The lace panel that goes down here on the sides and goes down the side is so pretty. Very summery, very simple yet elegant. I could see myself wear that in special occasions, which I'm always kind of looking for things that I could double as an everyday wear with jeans, but that could also be worn with something more dressy for a special occasion. Not gonna lie, I love wearing my knits all the time, and I wish to have a knit for all situations. So having something a little bit classy in my wardrobe could work really well. And I think Adriata is a perfectly classy little top. It's knit in DK weight yarn. She knitted in a silk linen blend, which 65% silk, 35% linen is a great yarn. I have a top made out of that blend. I'm right now knitting a summer top that I'll show it to you in a second. The 65% silk, 35% linen blend is something that I see a lot of hand dyers dye on as a base. It's a really nice one. It's not too rough on the hands, and it is so pretty to look at. It has the sheen of the silk. So I would probably use exactly the same yarn as she's using, or at least anyway the same blend for a top like this one. The recommended ease is 0 to 2 inches of negative ease, and the sizes go from a 30-inch to a 66-inch bust. Those were my 5 knitted tops and tees that I'm really looking forward to knitting this summer. And I gave you options that were all available as single patterns, because I know that it can be frustrating to be presented online with patterns that are part of books or that are not available in our language. But I still have 2 special mentions because they are part of books. They're so pretty and I really want to talk about them. So this one is one that I started recently. It's called the Embassy Row Tank. It is part of the book called Knits from the LYS that was published by Lane Magazine with Espace Tricot. It is a pattern by Stephanie Earp, and I am loving working on this one. I decided to go for the same blend, the silk linen that I just talked about, but in a fingering weight, and the other yarn is actually a wool. It is a Zauberball Crazy, and I'm absolutely loving what this is creating. It's so much fun. I am knitting the tank version, which doesn't have any ribbing, and I am knitting it in the smallest size in the book, which is supposed to have 0 to 6 inches of positive ease. I'm going for the 2 inches of positive ease because the smallest measurement is a finished bust of 35.25 inches, and it goes all the way up to a 67.25 inches. I swear I can't stop knitting on this because the pattern of stripes and slip stitches is just so addictive. So that's the Embassy Row Tank. The second special mention is part of the brand new book by Sasha Heyer called Island Vibes. It's a collection of summer knits. The book is beautiful. All the knits are making me want the really warm weather to show up already. But the one that I laid eyes on that I really want to make is called Grassroots. And it is really fun construction. That's a modular construction knit sideways. She knit it in multiple colors, but she also knit a single colored one that I saw on her social media, and it made me absolutely want to knit it. So that one, the yarn is coming my way. It's a sport weight yarn. I'm going to be knitting it in a cotton and linen blend, which I haven't tried before, and I'm going to be knitting the smallest size. The sizes are from 40 inches to 72 inches with a recommended ease of 8 to 12 inches positive. It is a very oversized, loose fitting t-shirt. I think it's adorable. I love the idea of knitting something modular. Sasha is actually from Montreal. I've seen her knit some of the knits that are in that book in person, and I'm super excited for her first book with all these summer knits in it. That was more than 5, but I'm probably gonna be knitting more than 5 summer knits this summer. Tell me if summer knits are something that you enjoy. Have you worked with summer yarns before? Have you knit summer patterns before? Are you concerned? Do you have questions? Let me know all about it in the comments below. I will be leaving all the links obviously in the description box. Let me know which summer knits you plan on making so I can get inspired. If you liked my recommendations, don't hesitate to go check out the one I did last year because those patterns are still super gorgeous. I've knit some of them already and I really like them. Happy knitting. I'll see you very soon. Bye.